Welcome to the Sista Gurl Podcast. This is your safe space for real conversations about healing, growth, relationships, family, self-worth, and protecting your peace. So go ahead and get comfortable, grab your coffee, your tea, your blankets, or whatever helps you relax, and let's talk about it. So today we're going to talk about something a lot of us struggle with: boundaries. Not just setting them, but keeping them, and keeping them without feeling guilty. Have you ever felt guilty for protecting your peace? Like the moment you finally say no, suddenly you're the bad guy? Or you're selfish? Or you've changed? Yeah, that's what we're talking about today. Because a lot of us are not exhausted because we're weak. We're tired because we've been overextending ourselves to people who got completely comfortable with us having no boundaries. And let's be real for a second. A lot of us were raised to keep the peace, to stay quiet, don't talk back, be respectful no matter what, answer everybody's phone call, help everybody, and show up no matter how tired we are. But nobody ever taught us to show up for ourselves. And that's where the problem starts. Because somewhere along the way, we learned that saying no was rude, that resting means we're lazy, that protecting ourselves means that we're selfish, and now a lot of grown adults are walking around completely drained, trying to earn love from overgiving. You should not have to abandon yourself just to keep other people comfortable. And you know what's crazy? Some people like the old version of you, the version with no boundaries, the version that answers every phone call, the version that loans money when you don't really have it, the version that shows up emotionally when you are so tired and falling apart, the version of you that keeps saying yes while you're silently suffering inside. The moment you start protecting your peace, people start acting funny. And they say things like, oh, you've changed, you're acting different, you don't come around anymore, or you think you're too good. And let's be honest, maybe you did change. You got tired. You got tired of being there for everybody, being everybody's emergency contact when nobody checks on you. You get tired of over-explaining. You get tired of feeling emotionally responsible for grown people. You got tired of carrying responsibilities that are not even yours by yourself. And that doesn't make you mean. That makes you human. And can we talk about family for a second? Because that right there can sometimes be the hardest boundaries to set, especially in communities where we're taught that family is family no matter what. Listen, you can love your family deeply and still distance yourself. You can pray for people and still not allow them access to your peace. You can forgive people and still decide that they cannot keep hurting you. That part right there. A lot of people struggle with that part right there because guilt will have you reconnecting with toxic situations just because you feel obligated. But obligation is not the same as love. And let me say something else. Some people benefit from your lack of boundaries. So when you finally start to set them, they may resist. Not because you're wrong, but because the old version of you was easier to control. Now let's clear something up. Setting boundaries is not yelling at people. Setting boundaries is not being disrespectful. And setting boundaries is not being revengeful. Setting boundaries is a form of communication that sounds a little something like this. I'm not available for that. Or, that doesn't work for me. Letting them know that, hey, I need time for myself. Or telling them, hey, I can help you, but just not today. But more importantly, setting boundaries is saying no. And listen to me clearly when I say this. No is a complete sentence. You do not owe anybody a 5-page explanation on why you're protecting your peace. So when you say no, say it with your chest out and say it like you mean it, because no means no. And I want you to think about this. How many times have you said yes when your spirit was screaming no? How many times have you agreed to do something just to avoid disappointing people? How many times have you sacrificed your own mental health trying to keep everybody else comfortable? And where did that get you? Probably somewhere overwhelmed, burnt out, emotionally drained, and maybe even resentful. One thing I had to learn was this. Every time you betray yourself to please other people, you lose a little bit of peace. And eventually, your body starts responding. You may begin to feel anxious or irritated. You may begin to feel exhausted or even emotionally numb because your mind and your body knows when you're carrying too much. That's why boundaries are not just emotional, they're healthy. They protect your energy, your peace, your mental health, and your joy. And sis, you deserve all of that. So let's talk about how to actually start setting boundaries. 1, I've already said this. Stop over-explaining. You don't need a dramatic speech every time you say no. No is no, period. Stand on it. And like I said previously, you don't need a dramatic speech just to say no, or a bunch of excuses. You can just say, I'm not able to do that. Number 2, pay attention to how people act when you set your boundaries. The right people may not understand it, but they're going to respect your boundaries because they respect you. The people that get angry every time you set a boundary, they're usually the ones that benefit the most from you not having any boundaries. 3, stop feeling guilty for resting. Rest is not laziness. You don't have to earn rest by burning yourself out from helping other people. 4, practice saying no in small ways. It gets easier. The first few times, you might be nervous about how they might react or what they might say, and you might even feel guilty. But eventually, you'll realize peace feels much better than people-pleasing. Sis, I want you to remember this. You are allowed to protect your peace. You are allowed to choose yourself. You are allowed to say, this is too much for me. And the people that truly love you will not require you to destroy yourself or sacrifice your peace just to prove it. Let that sink in. Well, as we close out today's episode, I want you to remember this. Protecting your peace is not selfish. It's necessary. This week, I challenge you to practice saying no without over-explaining. 1 boundary, just 1. And pay attention to how powerful it feels and how people act around you when you say it. That says a lot. Well, sisters, if this episode spoke to you, make sure you share it with another sister who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and stay connected. Because over here, we're growing, we're healing, and we're setting boundaries together. This is your Sista Gurl Podcast, where nothing is off limits. I'm Tasha M. I'll catch you on the next one.